So let's have story time again. I am taken with the Aztec mythos, the story of the five sons. And so I watch like once a week this video on YouTube. The original video, I guess, was a VHS. It was made by a grant from the Library of Congress, and I love this because these are things that are truly important to the human spirit and meant to be preserved. And so I'll try my best to tell you the story of the five sons. You'll have to excuse me because I find it really hard to remember all the names in the story of the five sons. Like, it's really hard for me to like find a spot mentally for like things like the Toloki and names like Tezcatlipoca and Xiaoshulikwe and Nanawatsi and Tekusis Takat. Like, the story itself is beautiful, deeply fascinating, and really easy to remember. But you'll have to excuse me when I stare at you for like 5 minutes because I'm trying really hard to remember somebody's name, and you'll just have to remind me. But in the beginning, there was only the place of duality, Omeyokan, where Teo and this is again the moment where I forget somebody's name. I forget his wife's name. Always. In the beginning, there was the mother and father of creation, Teo, who lived in Omeyokan. And one day, they sought fit to create humans. And so the two of them decided amongst themselves who they would place in charge of the new world and who would build the new humans. And so between the two of them, they played a game of dice, and they decided on two of the younger gods, Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. For both of them were beings of immense power, for they themselves were the Tezcatlipoca, the four gods of the cardinal directions. The god Quetzalcoatl was Lord of Knowledge, and he dwelled in the west. And this is another name I forgot. I forget the Lord of Death's name who dwells in the north. So fill that in for me, please. And I don't remember the Tezcatlipoca of the south. I know that he is the Lord of Thorns, if I remember correctly, but I do not know his name. And Tezcatlipoca, who dwells in the east, but only one of them, he is named Tezcatlipoca. And so Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl set out to create the first world. But the first world was not like how we know it now, for it was very simple and they did not know how to make humans yet. And so the humans they had constructed were giants, 10 to 15 feet tall, and they ate acorns. These people were very strange from our modern perspective, for they did not eat the flesh of other beings. They existed solely on what they could gather out of the land. And yet, in time, Tezcatlipoca became dissatisfied with the work of his brother. He became jealous and angry of what Quetzalcoatl had made. And so he pushed Quetzalcoatl into the great river and drowned him. And while Quetzalcoatl was trying to rescue himself from the river, Tezcatlipoca sent down a rain of ash and slivers and destroyed the first world. And so at this slight, Quetzalcoatl took it upon himself to create the second world. And in his own inequity, he thought it great to select Tlaloc, the god of the rain, to create the second world. And you see, Tlaloc was very clever, very capable god he was. He made the second world, and the humans were happy. They dwelled on little islands, and they sailed between these islands on their boats. But Tlaloc was a god of rain, and he felt he was not getting enough recognition for what he did. And so in an attempt to get the humans to worship him more, he made it rain for 40 days straight. But even though the humans cried out and prayed to him, Tlaloc, please stop making it rain, we're drowning, he did not stop. And so the humans began to change themselves. Scales grew out of their backs. They got fins and wide faces, beautiful eyes, but not something you'd want to look deeply into. The humans became fish, and so the second world came to a close because it all drowned. And this time it was Tezcatlipoca's turn again, and he created the third world. And this was a lot closer to the world you would imagine. The humans, they were still giants, but they had created agriculture by this point. They had lived in homes, and they would hunt the turkeys and the geese around them. But in time, the two brothers became dissatisfied with themselves again, and Quetzalcoatl sent a storm of jaguars and eagles and fire to the third world and destroyed it. And from this, the third humans became turkeys, their skin and their feathers blackened by the smoke.